What is up, and welcome back to Farm Sim 22 on Yukon Valley. I'm Powerman as always. I was just noticing something. I think they stole one of my barrels. Thought I had two of these stacked up. I had four of them on here in the front and then one in the back. Maybe not. Maybe, I don't know. These trailers, they won't let me do that. I have to force it to do that, so maybe one fell off. I know it did freak out the next day and I had to restack it, but I thought I put them all back on. Maybe not. This is much nicer though. I like that way better. Can't wait to sell. Actually, you know what? I can wait to sell them. I kind of like having my bale stack over here. Anyway, how are you today? Hopefully everybody's doing well. I just gonna try to remember where the heck I let off. That's the one problem with doing this once a week. Always forget what I was doing. I know I just planted, but what else do I have to do? Is this actually ready to be fertilized? I don't think so. But I think that's the one we just planted, so that can't be it. Why is this not fertilized? We should go fertilize the sugar cane. Do I need something special to do sugar cane? I don't think so. Hi, Tato. How's it going? Why what? All right, fertilize. Wait, I don't need this for a fertilizer. What the hell am I doing? Might want to take a fertilizer truck. I don't know why I grabbed the tractor. I don't think I've had a pull behind fertilizer in this playthrough. No, I had the ones that went on the nose. But that was ages ago. Every time I stream, you're in bed or have something else to do. Not my fault. That's your fault. You should just plan better. That's all I can tell you. No. You're failing to plan. That is not my fault. All right, let's see. Let's turn this on and dip down here at full speed. See if that actually does the fertilizing. It should. I don't remember. I thought I already had the sugarcane fertilized fully, so I don't know. What's up? Well, it's been an interesting week again, of course. Kitten's car was still broken down, I think, when I left. I told you guys, I believe I told you I was either about to change the thermostat or change the thermostat. I think it was after I changed it, because I was upset that I listened to somebody else instead of checking for myself, because it was a waste of time. There's nothing wrong with it. It was the water pump. And so I had to learn a whole new operation. Do you know they want over $850 to do the water pump for that truck? Man, that's when you know it's going to be a big job, when it's close to $1,000 and most of it's labor. So I went on Amazon and for like $25 bought a water pump and gasket and then learned how to do it because I had no idea. And now she has a truck again. So $25 and 12 hours of labor because I screwed it up once and had to do it the second time. Well, there was breaks and stuff in there, don't get me wrong. It was just 12 hours throughout the whole day. But, I mean, there was lots of stopping and stuff like that, and dinner and lunch. And we had to run to the store a few times we had to get a couple of specialty tools. In the end, it basically cost about $200 to do both the water pump and the thermostat. With everything that was needed, including buying extra tools and all the coolant and stuff. Versus $850 or more. For the water pump and about $400 for the thermostat. So I'd say I did good. Yeah, I'll spend 12 hours a full day working on something to save that kind of money. I mean, yes, a professional could have got it done in 3, but I'm not a professional, but I can get it done. I can follow instructions, kind of. The biggest problem, the thing that made me have to do it a second time is it didn't have a torque wrench that could fit in there. And they asked for a ridiculously low torque, and I under-torqued apparently. The only thing I can figure, because, you know, obviously it didn't hold. So it was still leaking. So, must have been under-torqued, and that's the only thing I can think of. All right, that's not fertilized still. Maybe the other fertilizer? Maybe the grape and whatever fertilizer can do it. I don't know. I'm not sure how that works. But it isn't letting me fertilize, apparently. But yeah, so yeah, it took me way longer, and I mean, it really wasn't that bad. The second time, especially, I think I had it apart in under 45 minutes, all the way down to where the water pump was. And reassembly wasn't a whole lot slower. But I took a lot of extra time to check the bolts as best I could by feel, because like I said, did not have a torque wrench that could fit in there, and we weren't really in a position to put extra money into it. For a torque wrench, you know, that's it. So yeah. Trucks are expensive, keeping them maintained? Yeah. Well, any vehicle can be. But everybody pretty much knows I was never a fan of this truck in the first place. I got overruled by her dad, and there's been regret ever since. But, yeah. The internet's a thing, man. It's a tool that we should be using. Let's just put it that way. And the internet said, don't touch this vehicle with a 10-foot pole, and I agreed. And other people didn't. Like I said, her dad's old school. He remembers Buick being good, and they used to be. They actually used to be. So, I mean, I understand where he was coming from. But, unfortunately, times change. And, yeah, they're not good anymore. Haven't been for a while. Any of not Equinox, what is it? The Buick Enclave, the Chevy Traverse, and GMC. I don't remember which one the GMC is. But yeah, the motor in those are awful. Absolutely awful. And it's a shame. I mean, it's a good sized vehicle, and it seems like it should be good. But the motor is terrible. Their timing chains are wearing out in some cases at 40,000 miles. I mean, that's lower than belts usually wear out for timing. That's pretty bad. And when they wear out, they destroy the whole engine. So, yeah, I'm not a big fan. Let's see, what do we have in here? We don't have a whole lot of fertilizer left. I'm going to have the helper do this one. All right. So, wait. Actually, if the helper does it, that means he's going to make it work, right? Yeah. Let's see. Helper? You're not going anywhere, helper. Fire the helper. Try this again. Get into the field. How about now? What? Why? I understand the helpers will quit if there's nothing to do, and they'll do, but I've never seen them not actually do anything, and just sit there happily. So I guess, wait. When the helper did it, it raised them up and started spraying. How do I do that? Where? Oh, lift V. All right. First need to what? Lift. First need to unfold the sprayer. It's not folded. I'm confused. There. First need to unfold the sprayer tool. What the hell? Hey, Big A, how are you? Why it no worky? I'm trying to fertilize here, and apparently you just can't. I've got the wrong tool probably, but see, when the AI goes in, it lifts that up, and then it starts spraying. It won't let me turn on the sprayer. And the helper won't do it, so I'm guessing this just isn't going to work here. Okay, fire the helper, drop it back down, I guess. And then... Oops, I hit helper again accidentally. Meant to hit that. I'll drive a little bit and see if that works. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys are going through and having fun. Yeah, so that's what we were up to. Oh, and then she needed 2 tires too, because their belts started showing. Been a hell of a week. Man, speaking of tires, holy shit, I hope you guys don't need tires soon. With all the tariff stuff going to China, you can't even get the cheap Chinese tires anymore that were affordable for the po folks like myself. Man, 2 tires. 2. $340 or $330 for 2 tires. The last time we bought a set for her about 4 years ago, 5 years ago, $400 and some change for the entire set of tires. Holy crap. That's crazy. Your man discovered breeding and headache of mutations. Oh yeah, that can be a big thing. What's up, super guy? We actually have a Discord for everybody already. Where are you at? You're on Discord? Yeah, or on Twitch, I mean? Yeah, it's right there. It probably is. Probably is. I didn't get a chance to read it till after. I just saw a new name pop up. But if it is, that's a weird one. I don't know how that would be expected to actually work out. All right, let's see if this is actually doing anything. Probably isn't. Yeah. Try to reload the map. See if that... Yeah, see, it's still not getting through there, so... There must be another sprayer. Bot for sure. Hey, Slick. That's all right. That bot is pretty innocuous. I don't think anybody's going to just jump up and down to get all excited about adding some random person they never met on Discord, so... Pretty sure that one's harmless. Not that most of the other ones aren't. They're just kind of ridiculous. Bye, viewers. Nah. How about if I just play the game, and if people want to come hang out, then they come hang out, and that's awesome. And if they don't, well, then they're all assholes, and it's not my fault. Been a surge of bots lately? Yeah. That's, I mean... It's the internet. It's not a huge shock. Did someone say bot? Hey, Edric. Helpful bots. Gotta like those. Those are better. All right, so I guess we're gonna have to look for another kind of sprayer. Let's see. Sugarcane technology. There's no sprayer for that. So I guess maybe you can only do it in the beginning. Friend of yours got followed by 260 bots at once. Yeah. Yeah. I've heard stories. I've heard stories like that where they were true, and I've heard of where the person botted themselves to get a higher status in the rankings. How do you know? I don't know. But if they did get botted, because I know at least one person for sure had that happen, and it actually just wrecked them. They ended up killing off their channel because they couldn't handle the thought of the fake numbers, but teach their own. I'd be upset, but I'm sure as hell not killing off my channel after 6 years. Yeah. No, and I mean, I hope it was, not him doing it directly and claiming the other way. I don't know your friend. I'm not trying to disparage one of your friends, but I don't know them. So, it's just one of those things. But let's see. So we got to go another month and then we can do this field. Everything else, I think, is just growing. So, hey, I guess we get to go through another month. So what's up, Scar? How's you doing? I see you sneaking in. These are all going to rot up here. We're only dealing with this side. One side's enough. I guess we're not going to be doing that, fertilizing that little strip there. Maybe I only can do it when it's like short growth and I missed it somehow. That is possible. Hell, it's even likely. But let's see. What game are you playing at the moment, Slick? Feel like poop? Well, the bathroom's, I'm sure, close by, Scar. Why don't you just go do that? I mean, if you feel like it, you should really just take care of that. Sugarcane, pass the point. Okay. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking, that I missed the growth period where I could have added it. That's all right. That is a perfectly good, perfectly fine, I suppose. Trying to recover from food poisoning. I told you to, read a cookbook, Scar. Get a thermometer for the food. Don't just, medium rare chicken's not a thing. God. Right. So just remember, food poisoning isn't the last thing you ate. It's probably the thing you ate a minimum of 8 to 14 hours earlier. Up to 48. So many people blame the last place they ate, and they get it backwards. That's not how that works. All right. This should be growing. But is it ready for fertilizer? Actually, probably going to have weeds here soon. Should have just set the fertilizer truck up there instead of parking it back here again. That is going to be one of the next thing it needs. Unfortunately, I only have the one fertilizer truck. For the biggins. You have pre-packaged food that made you food or gave you food poisoning? Huh, that's unusual. Sure, it's not just a coincidental flu. It is going around again. Woohoo. Or not the flu, but there's some nasty little bugs going around. All right, let's see if this actually does anything. I know the smart money would be on checking it. Well, Jackie's going to go ahead and do it, so maybe it works. I'm being super lazy, I know. Oh, it works. Okay, cool. Check our weeding. Holy crap. Never had it drop me out on the top of the truck before. All right, so no weeds yet. Probably have to wait till about midday for that to come through. Scare off the birds. They're eating my food. Oh, so speaking of growing things, like real world growing things. My tomatoes. We got infested out of nowhere with this. I think it was called a horned worm or whatever. And they eat tomato plants. And yeah, that's why it started dying. That, and I think a gopher got to the roots on the big plant. Sadness. So I tried. It might have been a little late to get some cuttings off of it. And so I can try to regrow a new plant. But it might have been a little too late. They may not be strong enough. But we'll find out in the next week if they were strong enough. I will grow a new one. Man, that big plant. I don't even know if I got them all, but I got 7 of these worms. They were bigger than your pinky. Like, bigger in length and width. They were some fat, well-fed worms, damn it. And I had actually gone out and trimmed it the day before. Actually, here, let's But let's just go sit in the sprayer while we talk. I was trimming it the day before that day, and I went to show Kitten, how much I had taken off the plant, because I'd taken off quite a bit to try to ease the burden on the root system, because at the time I was thinking it was just the roots at the time. And went out there and I'm like, oh, hey, look at this. There's something on this leaf. It looks like a weird leaf. And it was just the worm hanging upside down, the caterpillar looking deal. And it was his feet clamped around the top, and they have big feet. And it looked like a deformed leaf or something like that. And I wanted to check it out, and I pull the leaf up and I look underneath it. It's like, oh, this leaf is squishy. And then I realized that's a giant frickin' it looked kind of like a bigger than usual silkworm. But yeah, it's just a big green caterpillar looking deal that has what looks like a big bee stinger coming out its rear end. And they eat tomato plants, and they are known to be exceptionally hungry. And yeah, I was just actually like 2 days before noticing that my leaves were starting to disappear. So that's where I thought it was, like I say, malnutrition. I'd already fertilized it and stuff like that. But I thought, like I say, maybe it couldn't get enough water because the gophers had taken off the roots. They love roots. They're very tasty and delicate. But while I still feel like the roots are probably decimated pretty good, pretty sure these worms were not assisting. Yeah, so we got one tomato that was only half edible because it kind of grew weird. It was a really tasty one, but yeah, for all the work we put in this year, I honestly, I should have been paying closer attention. I didn't get any kind of insecticide and stuff like that for it. And I mean, to be fair, the last time I grew tomatoes out in Arizona, I didn't need anything like that except for to spray it down with a little soapy water with, I think, some aspirin in it. Helps get rid of aphids. And that was all I had to do. But apparently in this part of the state, which I'm much further north now, there's a lot more big meanies out there that want to kill my tomatoes. I don't have any squirrels nearby, so I'm good with that. But like I said, I kind of got the ground squirrel problem, the gophers. And pretty sure they're striped gophers. Not 100%, because they don't make the pocket gopher mound. But that's not that they can't be. I'm not familiar. Maybe they do things a little different here in the Southwest. But like in Minnesota, you can spot a pocket gopher a mile away. That little mini mountain they build up when they remove all their dirt. Whereas the striped gophers just have the hole in the ground, and that's what these are. I knew I had a hole, or a gopher hole, when I poured my water in, and I have kind of a reservoir so it can hold a bunch. And I saw the water drain out of it like I, pulled the plug on a drain. And I grabbed a sharp stick, poked around a little bit, and, that's how you find that when it gets you poke in about 4 or 5 inches, and if it hits a spot where it pokes all of a sudden really easy through there, you probably got a hole underneath. And sure enough, I dug it out, and there's just a nice little gopher hole. Little bastard. Hope he drowned. So I changed the reservoir a little bit, but I'm sure since I was using that as a reservoir, most of the root system grew towards the water. But don't get me wrong, I plugged that up and tried to put water over there still because the root system would be there, but I just tried to put more on the other side because the tomatoes are really good at sending out new root systems. So every one of those, if you've ever seen a tomato plant, every one of those tiny little hairs on them, that has the potential to be a root. So that's really awesome. It makes them very hardy plants in these cases, but they have to be able to put out new roots faster than the little bastard gophers can eat them. But so we'll see how it goes. I'm not holding my breath on the transplants. You can clip off the suckers of a tomato and put them in some water or some wet soil and let them sit there. And they will resprout if they have enough energy to do so. If for some reason you're planning to do this, do it in the morning so that they're well hydrated and everything when you start out. Try not to get them into direct harsh sunlight. They're kind of delicate. Trim off all the branches up to the top. You want to leave a couple of leaves so they get a little bit of photosynthesis, but other than that, You don't want to leave any leaves under the water or dirt line because that'll turn into rot and you don't want that. But, so there you go. Now you know. That's as much as I can tell you. But yeah, then you should have to wait about a week or two, and they'll either grow roots, and in the water it's easier to see if they started rooting than it is if you do it in dirt, obviously. But that's why I'm doing it in water. I believe the dirt is a little bit better in the long run because, you know, you're actually sprouting into soil you're going to transplant, whereas the other, you know, they're still going to have a little bit of trauma from transplantation at that point, but they'll get over it. But I'm going to try to grow them if these do take off. Even though we're getting nearer the end of the season, because of where I live, I have a little bit longer season, and then I can also. I got that huge windshield on this truck. I can just put them up there. They'll get all the damn sun they need for at least half the day. So we'll just grow the damn things inside. Hey, good luck. Those damn worms don't have a chance in here. I'll kill them all. But yeah, that was a real disappointment. I mean, when I was that plant, I gotta say, we had the two plants, and one of them just got stunted and wouldn't take off again. And that's actually the one that has the tomatoes that we have, or the tomato that we did get. We got a couple others, but they were already, I mean, literally overnight, they went bad on the counter. Over one night. They were already very deteriorated, very weak. And that was just by the time they weren't even fully red. So, there's something weird going on with that plant too. But, the one that we did get off of it was glorious, but it wasn't worth all the effort we put in. And unfortunately, the particular plant that is putting out blooms and stuff, that one is not a transplant, or is not one you can take cuttings off of, because it's what's called a determinant. And a determinant means it has a set number of blooms, it grows for a certain number of time, then it blooms, and then it dies. Whereas a indeterminate, which is what the big one was, those continue to grow and blossom throughout the season and produce fruit. And that one, like I was going to say, so the one got stunted, and the other one, it just took off. I mean, I've had some good tomato plants in my day, but this one, the stem on this thing is bigger than I've ever really seen. Trying to look around here to see if there's something I can compare it to. But I don't know what each and every one has in their house, but it's bigger than both of my thumbs put together for width. It's a monster stem on her. That thing was planning a tomato takeover of the entire area by the prep work it was putting into the stem. And that thing grew like a weed. The thing was like 3 feet tall. We had it in a cage, obviously. It was over 3 feet tall the first month we had it. And it did not show any signs of stopping. I was kind of in a position of, I wish it would stop growing and start putting out tomatoes, because it's putting all this work into growing instead of actually fruiting. But, you know, it was hard to complain, because bigger the plant, usually the more tomatoes you're about to get. Right up until they get interrupted, sadly. Yeah, that thing had all kinds of blossoms. When I did trim it back a bit, though, I was greeted with a little bit of a surprise. It had tried to fruit. I ended up with 3 little tip of your pinky sized tomatoes on there that are all red and shriveled up. Didn't even see them. They were so tiny, but that was its best effort. So that was sad. Just 3 little sad, tiny, third the size of an actual cherry tomato. But oh man, so I know what Potato is playing. Anybody else playing another game, different game, or some of you still playing Farm Sim? What's everybody playing at the moment? I noticed that Satisfactory just came out with version 1. kind of curious about the changes they've made in that. I was not expecting to see. I should have. I forgot about it, actually, is the reason. It's not that I wasn't expecting it. I just wasn't expecting it right now because I forgot that that update was even coming. That was supposed to be a big update, though, if I recall. At least the way, like, Pogue was talking about it. But, yeah, I don't know. I should probably look into it. Maybe that would make sense. That might be smart. It's been like, I don't know, 3 months since I think Pogue was telling me about it, and I've forgotten pretty much everything he said. Oh, let me get rid of that menu up there. Oops. There we go. All right. Let's see. Do we have weeds yet? Once the weeds pop up, we'll have a lot more we can do. It should be this month. Oh, no, it won't. I plowed. That's right. No weeds this month on this one down here. That's right. Oh, cool. At least there's one bonus. So really, I think all I have to do on this one, make sure there's nothing ready to harvest. Ah, shit. Damn it, Yogi. Yogi's the one who planted this shit. Is that corn? Kind of looks like corn. Damn it. All right, well, that header's not going to do me any good. I even have a... Oh, I got one over here with a corn header. Okay. Of course, it's the little guy. But yeah, all right. So I guess we're going to harvest some corn. I don't know what else is up here. I don't remember what he planted up here. That looks like something other than corn. Maybe a soybean? Oh, wait. No, I think that is corn, too. Never mind. Our old, small combine. A truck over here does not look like it. All right, we need to go get a truck. You know what? Hell, he can fill this one. Why not? But I think this is the one. Isn't this the truck that gets stuck on everything? I'm wrong with the hitbox on the box. I think. Yeah, so that's, let's see. That's the kitten's car story, the tomato story. About all I got for stories at the moment. Oh, Starlink's going up in price again, the greedy bastards. I love that. They already charge more than every other service out there. I'm going to have to start looking into something else to see what's going on, because they're already charging more than we would really like. Might see what there is with, like, the Verizon hotspot, stuff like that. The T-Mobile one, they actually don't service our area. Otherwise, we'd grab that because T-Mobile has really good connection in this area. And that'd be only $50 a month as opposed to $165. But, yeah, they got full signal where we've been parked for the last almost year. So, that would be very good. But unfortunately, yeah, I think from what I was understanding, it looks like they're trying to change their service on that one. So until they figure out what they're doing, they're kind of stalling on putting out new units in this area. They've got this other alternate one, but it's nowhere near as good, and they charge more for it, and they have data cap. I ain't going back to data cap. Screw that. That's just the way it went last time. That was just a way to get a lot of extra fees we didn't sign up for. I'd rather know what my bill is going to be. Ah, Yeah, I can't even make it over that. All right. That's okay. I should have turned anyway. Oh, nope. I can't even get over that. Oh, come on. A little tiny hill. We'll take the road. What's left of it? There we go. All right. But yeah, so there's a couple of little hotspot things. I got to look into some stuff. I think there's one where you can pay $300 for the year, which that would be very worthwhile if it works in this area. I mean, literally, that would cost us less than 2 months of Starlink. So, if they still have that deal going on, but we'd have to check on it. It's been a while since I've seen that, so it may not be a thing anymore. Yeah, we're trying to find everything possible to reduce costs because especially like with the car repairs and stuff like that, it's kind of kicked us while we were down a bit, but that's all right. We will figure it out. We're stubborn like that. Definitely. All right, spin around. I should have just drove up to him. He probably would have stopped and just filled me up. Oh well, I can drive next to him. If I can get there. All right, there we go. Yeah, he was almost full. Yeah, we're trying to come up with a new plan so we don't have to move as much this winter. That would save a bunch too. Unfortunately, you got to spend money to get to that point, but we'll see. I was kind of thinking we can get they have one of those 100-gallon or 100-pound propane tanks for about 140 bucks. And I could put that on my trailer, my old Harbor Freight trailer that I used to use for landscaping. And then that'd be a lot easier to drive back and forth than driving the RV back and forth. And it would save us a lot of trips and headache on that because packing everything up and disconnecting everything to drive is also a little frustrating. Would take the need out to do that, and with that in the winter we could actually bank the RV so it stays warmer, uses less propane, so it'd be kind of a win-win in that situation. And Kitten does work for a company where they will pump out RVs, so I mean that part's covered, and they said they'd give us a good deal. I think they said like 25 bucks a month, so that would be a really nice savings. But yeah, so we're working on ideas. We are definitely working on ideas. Oh, I don't need to follow them every time. All right, let me back up. That's what you guys use to fuel your camper during the deer season? Is one of the external tanks? Well, do you guys have like a fifth wheel though, right? Or a travel trailer, right? If we had a fifth wheel or a travel trailer, they don't have built-on propane tanks. You can just, I mean, granted, they're smaller tanks. They're 30. But usually they have one or two 30-gallon tanks, or I keep calling them gallon, 30-pound tanks. And they're detachable, and you bring those in your truck, and you just go get them filled and then come back. On Class A's, even these old ones like this one, they're welded to the frame, so you can't take them out. It makes it a little. That's where our problem comes in. If they were detachable tanks, not a problem. We'd already be set on that. 32-foot trailer style hitch or trailer hitch style. Yeah, that's a travel trailer. Okay. Yes, no, that is not. That is plenty big. Ours is 32 foot, but ours, keep in mind, there's a 32-foot Class A is not the same as a 32-foot travel trailer. 32-foot travel trailer has way more usable space inside because you don't have like the driving cockpit area, stuff like that. Usually you have storage underneath because you don't have drivetrain and stuff like that also. So yeah, this would be closer to, I don't know, 27-foot trailer, I think, comparably. And then you still don't have the storage, like I said. But this one's stronger. because the vehicle ones have to be stronger. So it's a trade-off. There's give and take on all these things, and we went back and forth as to whether to get a trailer or get a Class A. And the big thing that it came down to is we didn't have a vehicle to pull a trailer. Not really. My Jeep was the strongest of the pullers, and it has a 6,500 pound capacity for the hitch, and that's not enough. Not enough. And that's just for pulling ability. It wouldn't even be able to stop. That's the thing. A lot of people forget about that too. I mean, it's not just how much can it pull. It's can it stop? And yes, trailers have brakes and all that stuff too, but you know, you shouldn't rely only on your trailer brakes because they are a little bit more hit or miss. Sometimes they go out before people even remotely notice that they're going. They get neglected a lot, unfortunately. Matter of fact, I was just watching some RV people who went to Alaska not long ago and found out that their trailer brakes were only working at about 10% of what they should have been doing. When they replaced everything, they're like, oh my God, I barely have to touch the trailer brake button. Whereas before they had to pull it all the way across, if you know how trailer brakes work. So yeah. And they had been driving with that trailer for, I don't know, 5-6 years. So yeah. Guy you bought it from delivered it to the property. Then we just had to move it a quarter mile to its permanent location. Okay. Well, that's not so bad. And without moving it as much, you won't need as much. I should probably go down there and check this guy out. Without having to move it all the time, you probably have a lot less broken stuff. I mean, things are still going to break on an RV in general, even if they don't go anywhere, but the movement really does a number on all the components. Why, that's another reason why if we don't have to move as much this winter, when we, normally that's when you have to move the most for us because the propane being cooked in there, welded in. If we don't have to move as much, we probably won't have as much problems. I got here just a second too late. Damn it. Almost kept him moving. Oh, and this has got the slow grain extraction too. Damn it. I should just put this header on one of the fancy ones over there. They're the good ones, I think. Not that this isn't a good machine. It's just I have better ones now. I made some modifications to it. Tore the shower out for more room in the bathroom. Oh, that's why y'all a bunch of stinky bastards. I see how it is. On ours, the bathroom and the toilet and the sink are in one room, and then the shower's across the hall. So, yeah, it wouldn't really help us a whole lot. Not that we would get rid of our shower anyway, but kind of like having a shower. Kind of find it important. All right, so let's see. He's going along pretty good. Camp is only like 30 minutes. I know. I'm just teasing you. I'm just teasing you, Stinky. Don't take it personal. Poor Scar. But yeah, no, I understand. Just a base camp. I got you. All right, so we've had to unload it twice for about 35% of the field. Hey, if you ain't got the shower, you need the water balloon, all right? Just smack it over the top of your head. It'll help. My bullying you, Scar. All right, we'll let that go. No. Yeah, we always we hunted our own land when I was growing up, so It was right out the back of the my grandpa's family farm. I've talked about that farm many times. Like a third of it is wooded, but there was always more deer in there than anybody knew what to do with. So, uh-huh. You'll live. Well, I would hope so. You know it ain't serious. You know. But yeah, so let's see. Trying to think of what else is going on. I still have to fix the electrical. We're with the money we had to put into the truck, we didn't have the money for the new solenoid yet, so we'll wait until next week. See how that goes. It's not an emergency because I've got a workaround that's going just fine, so it's going all right. With being sick, you haven't had the energy to shower, so I know I need it, but standing is a struggle. Do you have a bathtub? It's better than nothing. Might help your, well, it depends on. Never mind. I forgot that you're talking food poisoning potentially, so. That intestinal tract thing probably isn't going to be helped by that really a whole lot. I was going to say for like sinuses and things like that, showers, hot showers and baths are good because it helps to clear them, but if it's a sinus thing, then it's not food poisoning. So, food poisoning doesn't make you sneeze. It doesn't stuff up your head. So if you got that, then it's definitely not food poisoning. Food poisoning is pooping and puking. Woohoo! Oh man, I am glad I have not had that in a long, long time. That is one of the most miserable things. But your head feels warm, but the rest of your body feels cold. Not even sure what water temp would feel the best. Well, it's not about feeling the best. You'd probably go with a warm water anyway because your body warming up is what kills any kind of bacterial infection and whatnot. So dropping your temperature when you have a temperature, unless you have one that's over like 101, you want to keep it because that's what helps your body to fight whatever the problem is. Not medical advice, not a doctor, blah, 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 internet bullshit, blah, 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 disclaimer. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, you can look up doctors online, they'll tell you the same thing. That's where I got it from. Multiple source. But, yep. Which is interesting because, yeah, growing up, my mom used to smother me in blankets till I'd sweat like I felt like I was going to die anyway, so I don't know which was worse. The cure or the disease, you know? You're at 97.7. Oh, well, you know, actually, speaking of medical things I have no idea about, for sure, this one I don't. I recently just saw that temperatures are going down as with newer generations, and I've got to look into that because that's a weird thing I hadn't heard about. Oh shit, I got distracted and didn't do my job. Kitten and I both saw this here like within the last 2 days, and both of us looked at each other like, did you notice? And I'm like, hell no, I didn't know. Did you? And no. But apparently there's something to do with temperatures. Like I said, I can't say much about it, so without sounding any dumber than I already do on the subject, because I don't know it. It was just a thing put forth, and about a new phenomena, and I don't know about it, but yeah. So I guess it would depend on what your normal temperature would be, those scars, whether that's a slight temperature or under temp. Don't know. Or means nothing because, like I said, this is a misunderstanding of what the information was that was that we saw. I totally actually forgot to dig into that because it looked interesting. If there's some kind of a temperature shift in the human body, that's kind of an odd deal. Why that would be occurring. I believe it said, yeah, that people were starting to run cooler. So, I don't know. Like I said, I just don't have enough information, so I can't share. That's all I got. All right, well, our other sprayer guy is done, so just going to let this guy do his thing here. Wait. I thought it said he was done. Lies! Almost done. I think he's on his last pass, isn't he? Yeah, he's got 2 to go. All right, we'll hang out with him for his last 2 passes. Oh, I'm glad I don't have to do weeds, though, at least. I mean, that's a positive. But yeah, there may be a game change coming up here pretty soon.